Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the wokest magic show on the internet, headed up by the only team that doesn't blow a 3-1 lead. This is Casually Spike. I am your host, Dakota Marker, and today the casting room's looking a little empty, with my friends Jaron Denham.
I seriously can't.
And Devin Harrison.
Hey guys.
And we're going to be flying as a 3-man for this one. So, Jaron, why don't you go and tell us what we're taking a look at this evening?
First off, we're going to be talking about the emergency ban that happened in Pauper. We're also going to talk about the Modern Masters Phantom Draft League that's happening for 1 week only. Then we also have a new event coming out for the Standard Showdown. And we're going to talk about a new line that we're doing for our chainmates. And then we're just going to have our discussion on when is it good to potentially take a break and step away from things for a little bit.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and move into our first topic.
Well, I think you might want to take off your mask. It's after Halloween. Oh, wait, that's your face. I'm sorry.
That was cold, yo. Alrighty, so first on the docket this evening, we have an emergency banning in Pauper, which was planned for Kaladesh, but they didn't do it.
Whoops.
In Magic Online in Pauper, they have banned Peregrine Drake.
What? Free spells are overpowered?
Well, I mean, I remember they already banned Cloud of Fairies some time ago. I don't remember exactly when that was. Because that was a 2-mana spell that you got for free, which meant it was faster.
Yeah. No problem with that at all. Fair and balanced.
But I know one of the big things with this banning was that it was initially anticipated that Drake was going to get banned in Kaladesh, because it was proving to be too strong.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there weren't many Drake decks in the format per se, because everybody was afraid to basically pull the trigger on it because it was going to get banned.
Yeah.
And when Kaladesh came and went, and it didn't get banned in the, banned and restricted update, people just went nuts and invested into that deck, and they bought it left and right, and it just took over the format.
I think we actually talked about it, on maybe our second episode, where, the day after they released the, ban restricted list, and Peregrine Drake wasn't on the list, there were, I want to say 6 out of 8 undefeated decks in leagues were Peregrine Drake combo decks.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that wasn't a problem.
Yeah, and I mean, it's such a good rate, too, because not only do you get the, it's a 5-mana untap spell, and since the Ravnica bounce lands are commons, that means you can do that, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But on top of that, you also get a 2/3 flyer, which, for common, is pretty impressive.
Especially when it's free.
Yeah, especially when it's free. So...
Just rolls off the tongue. Free.
Free.
Play Freebird.
I don't have a lighter, I'm sorry.
Squadron Hawk banned in Pauper?
No, Squadron Hawk's not broken.
That's Freebird.
Yeah. That's Brainstorm Bird.
But yeah, so that's pretty much what we're looking at with the Peregrine Drake banning. I think it's going to be good for the format. I was happy when they banned Pod in Modern. I was happy when they banned Twin in Modern. And so I just like having more deck diversity. I'm thinking for Modern, we're probably going to end up seeing Become Immense banned because that card is just scummy and leads to degenerate kills.
I don't think that Become Immense is actually a problem.
Really?
Yes. Because Become Immense actually requires you to have your deck to be sort of built around wanting to use it. And it also requires to have a creature. And creatures are kind of easy to kill in Modern, depending on not only power and toughness, but the content in which the deck is playing creatures. So...
I mean, that's fair, but the thing is, it's weird right now, because we're kind of, in a state of flux, where we have... Modern is intended, quote-unquote,
Turn 4 format.
To be a turn 4 format, where games are ended on turn 4. However, with Become Immense and several other cards across different decks, we have the big 4, which are Affinity, Burn, Infect, and Suicide Zoo.
Yeah.
And Suicide Zoo and Infect can both pull off kills on turn 2 on a God Hand.
Yeah, and earlier, I'll
and I think Affinity can too. I'm not totally sure about that.
Affinity, I think, can hit on turn 3.
Yeah, I know they can do it on 3.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Affinity to actually do it, because all fairness, like...
I don't know enough about it either.
I did start playing Standard consistently when Affinity first came out, and it took me up until 4 months ago, whenever you had Affinity, Devin? Yeah, up until about 4 months ago is when I actually sat down and learned how to play Affinity. And I played it in a Grand Prix trial, and I played against somebody who'd been playing Affinity for probably about 2-3 years, and I just trucked him.
Wow.
Yeah. I finally learned how to play that deck, and I was very happy with myself to finally sit down and learn it. I might be a little biased, though, on the Infect thing, since obviously I do play Infect.
Yeah, that's the thing. I have Infect built, too, and I play Become Immense, and it's ridiculous when I get it to work.
Oh, absolutely. And, like, Delve spells, obviously, are overpowered.
Some of them are.
Some of them are, but I really don't think that Become Immense is that much of an issue, especially when you can fight Become Immense against Suicide Zoo and even Infect. Especially on the play, you can fight a Become Immense quite well.
Yeah, because, I mean, you do have, like, Grafdigger's Cage and Rest in Peace.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of counter magic. Like,
I mean, yeah,
Remand
and that too.
Remand's awesome against Become Immense.
Yeah, like, Remand in, like, Jeskai control and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Infect, I play Spell Pierce and not Vapor Stag, Vines of Vastwood.
Yeah, I mean, I play Vines of Vastwood, and I don't play, I'm sorry, what was it you just said?
Spell Pierce.
Yeah, I don't have Spell Pierces, but I do play, not Negate, Dispels.
Dispel's really sweet.
Yeah.
I have Dispel in the sideboard. Honestly, I would really like to go back to playing my tool card, which was Simic Charm.
Yeah, I keep thinking about, like, testing that out. I go back and forth on it. Like, that and Oath of Nissa are 2 cards I keep, like, mulling about in my head.
I don't like Oath of Nissa, but the Simic Charm is the card that I fell in love with when I was playing when I started playing Infect. Because, like I mentioned before, I played Infect cold going into the RPTQ. So I didn't have any testing with it, with Simic Charm or anything like that. So I was just playing a straight up stock list. And I almost qualified for Pro Tour Oath of the Gatewatch off of it. And then for a Grand Prix trial, I compared notes with Mike Magby. And he told me about Simic Charm, and I played the crap out of it. And I won my Grand Prix trial for Pittsburgh. And then I ended up going to Pittsburgh and finishing 4-3.
That happens.
Yeah, after starting out 4-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But with Become Immense, I feel that it takes a lot more work to actually, and I forgot to put my phone on silent again. But anyway, it takes a little more work to actually be able to kill somebody with Become Immense than it did like Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time.
Dig Through Time, yeah.
Because those cards are what your deck is based off of. Become Immense is just another pump spell.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, it's just like, in terms, if you do the overall math, in Infect, that's basically getting to deal them 12 damage for 1 spell, which could be at 1 mana.
Yeah.
And I get that, and even in Suicide Zoo, it's still like a huge boost, and it's guaranteed to turn on Temur Battle Rage. So. Yeah,
exactly. The only deck that actually is dangerous with Become Immense is Suicide Zoo, if you think about it. Because that, like, Infect just has so many pump spells that losing Become Immense would hurt, but not nearly as bad as what it would hurt in Suicide Zoo.
Well, in
my opinion.
I think the only thing really holding it back right now is the fact that Suicide Zoo is good, but it hasn't, like, won a bunch of tournaments yet. Like, Infect, Burn, and Affinity are all proven.
Yeah.
As tier 1 decks. Like, we've seen them win different Grand Prix and other things.
I wouldn't call Burn tier 1.
I mean,
it's good.
It seems like everybody is packing for Burn all the time.
All fairness, you should be packing for Burn anyway.
But that's
it's just the same as Affinity.
And I mean, the thing is, Burn, like, a lot of people, when you think of Burn, a lot of people think of, like, the mono red build, but, like, the thing with Burn specifically is that it comes in many different flavors. Like,
yeah.
You can build Naya Burn with, like, Boros Charm and Wild Nacatls.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how Naya Zoo and Suicide Zoo decks play them. And then, like, you could build, like, Grixis with, like, Bump in the Night, Is It Charm, and all this other goofy stuff.
Yeah.
But Burn, you can do all kinds of different things with, which makes it... No two Burn decks are the same, I guess you could say.
Right. Like, against Burn, you would obviously board in, like, your instant cast... Well, your instant counter spells. So, like, your Dispels and your Negates and...
Yeah.
If we ever had it ever again, Mental Misstep.
Yeah, or if you aren't playing Infect, you board in your Leyline.
Yeah. I mean, even playing Infect, you might even board in a Leyline.
Would you run one in your board? I don't know if I would.
I was, Magby and I were both testing it, and he was having great success with it, and I wasn't.
I mean,
because even
it depends on your meta too.
You can also cast it too.
In Infect?
Yeah.
Double white?
Yeah.
With what?
Noble Hierarchs.
Oh yeah. But that seems really tough.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Yeah, I'm like...
You have to mulligan to it, basically, or else you just don't get there.
Pretty much. That seems what it sounds like.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I don't think Become Immense is an issue.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to let a few more Grand Prix go by, modern Grand Prix, before I get any further one way or the other on it. I just think it's a card to look out for right now.
I just think there's too much hate for those decks that play it to actually make Become Immense an issue, really. Like, it is what makes those decks over the top, but it doesn't make them too ridiculous to deal with.
Well, let me ask you this, because I hear this a lot lately. What do you think we need to do to Modern to make it more diverse? Because right now, a lot of people are dissatisfied with the way Modern is, because there's a lot of homogeny. Like I said, you have the big four, and then, there's, 5 tier 2 decks that pop up here and there, depending on your meta, like Jeskai with Nahiri, Ban Eldrazi, Grixis Control with Tassiger.
My opinion, it comes to card availability. And Infect doesn't play Mythics.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there are any Mythics in Suicide Zoo. I don't think there's a 1 in either of those decks. And
actually, I don't think there's a Mythic in any of the big 4 decks now that I'm thinking about.
Mox Opal is in
Mox
Affinity.
Opal. Anything else?
I think that's it. I think Mox Opal.
Because there's nothing in Suicide Zoo. There's most versions of Burn do not run any Mythics.
They barely run rares.
They barely run rares because Lightning Bolt and Lava Spike are commons.
Like Fetches and Shocklands
are rares.
And those are the only ones that are really in those decks.
Yeah,
completely.
So,
I mean, Death Shadow obviously is a rare.
It is a rare, but yeah.
Noble Hierarch is a $75 rare.
But it is a rare.
It's a rare. It's been released twice as a rare. So I really think that it's card availability. Because there are people that want to play something like, I don't know, Blue Moon. And they can't get Blood Moons because they're ridiculously priced. For just a thing that ruins mana bases is what it does.
Well, I mean, yeah, Blood Moon's a card that some people have been said watch it because, Wizards doesn't like land hate. But at the same time, Blood Moon isn't terribly available anyway because they don't reprint it ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Wizards hates that it exists.
It was 8-9 in Modern Masters.
Yeah.
I was surprised it wasn't in 2.
I mean, they probably weren't going to reprint it again so soon just because they wanted the price to come back up on it a little bit, because $8 or $9 for Blood Moon meant that pretty much anybody who wanted it could get it.
That's fine.
That does it, and I think that's fine, but I don't think Wizards thinks that's fine, because letting players play with that stuff is miserable for players.
Well, in the case of Modern Masters, that's a set for people that are playing either competitively, or they're collecting, or they're getting stuff for their EDH decks. And they do help card availability a little bit. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, like in the case of Tarmogoyf, when he first came back out in Modern Masters, it makes price go up a little bit because demand goes higher.
Yeah, well, because what it does is
it creates demand.
It creates this reverse effect where by putting more supply into like putting more supply out, it makes more people want to get invested in
Exactly.
it. But the demand that it takes is more than the supply increases,
Right.
which then causes prices to rise
Exactly.
through whatever hits they might have taken.
And that's why Tarmogoyf went from being a $140 rare from Future Sight to a $210 rare in Future Sight and a Mythic in Modern Masters. And then now, after it's been a Mythic in Modern Masters 2, it went down to about 140?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 140.
I don't even think it's that much.
It probably is.
I was going to say a lot of places I see you can get Modern Masters 2 Goyfs for about $100.
Well, that's because those Modern Masters 2 logos are apparently horrendous looking. I don't get it.
Yeah,
why.
neither do I. Like the Modern Masters 1 logo, isn't it? I think the Modern Masters 1 logo looks worse.
I was okay with the Modern Masters 1 logo. All fairness.
It's just
the set symbols, they don't make any difference to me.
I mean, I'm more so, like, I can get bugged about the frame. Like, if I had a preference, I would take, like, the Future Sight Tarmogoyf, but that's because I love the Future Sight frame.
I do too. I actually miss my original playset of Tarmogoyfs I had when I picked them up for $5 a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I sold them each for $120.
I mean,
so I can't really complain too much.
But, yeah, and actually that's actually a great segue into our next point about the Modern Masters Phantom Draft League for 1 week only.
I actually drafted Modern Masters probably about 3 times when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 times I forced Storm, and it was the most fun I ever had in draft.
I got to Phantom draft it in paper when the set came out because I had a friend who bought a case, and he's like, let's draft this. It'll be fun. And I'm like, okay. And I got to draft the Fungus deck.
Oh, man, that deck was dumb.
I had a blast. Michael Loth Ancient or whatever it is.
Yep.
Like, that card is so ridiculous. And the thing is, we were Phantom drafting, which meant nobody was, like, money picking rares.
Yeah.
So I got, like, a doubling season 9th pick. That was great.
Opened it. This is gonna wheel.
Pretty much, because the thing is, like, if you ain't keeping it, then it's not actually that great.
Yeah. That card was actually really dumb in Time Spiral Standard. Oh my god. Well, not Standard, but Time Spiral Limited.
Oh, really? What did it break?
There was a Fungus deck in that, too.
Well, yeah, I know about the Fungus deck in that, but, like, I'm trying to think. The only way I could think that could really be insane is, like, was Sprout Swarm ever a card in Standard, or was that more like a Legacy thing?
It was only in Limited.
Yeah, because,
I tried to play it in Standard and could never get it to fire off.
Yeah, because it seems like Sprout Swarm with Doubling Season would be really good.
We had that in Standard for about 5 minutes. Because Doubling Season didn't really see too much play in Standard. Mm-hmm. And then Sprout Swarm came out in Future Sight. Then we had a core set. I think it was either a core set. Yeah, it was core set. I think it was 10th edition. And then we got Lorwyn.
I don't think... Wait, I thought 10th edition came out sometime before or after Alara.
No, I don't think so.
Because... Well, the only way I can think about that is because I remember that Magic Duels, or not Duels, like Magic Duels of the Planeswalkers, the very first one, had cards from 10th edition in it. Because I remember it had like Goblin Piker and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And that game, and that was in 2009, I think it was.
Which would have given us M10.
That would have been around that was around M10, and I remember because you got the promo Garrick Wildspeaker for like doing the code thing or whatever.
For Xbox, yeah.
And like that's back when Planeswalkers were still pretty new, because Duels of the Planeswalkers was where they introduced Nissa for the first time.
Yeah. And that was M10 came out with that, and that's when we got Lightning Bolt back. Because that was it was M10, then Zendikar came out, I believe.
Yeah, it went Alara Block, then M10, then Zendikar. Zendikar was actually when I started playing, so I could still get packs of M10, like Alara Block stuff.
And we also we had Mana Barbs in that too.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, that was the card you boarded in when you were playing against Jund, and you were playing like Boss Naya or something.
Yeah.
And then you just let your opponent go to like 1 or whatever, And then you, if you're at 1, this was my favorite kill I ever did. My opponent animated his Raging Ravine to take himself to like 2 or something, and he attacked me for lethal. And I go, okay, in response, before blockers or whatever, I had no blockers. So I just go, tap my land, trigger on the stack for the mana barbs. I'm going to bolt you.
Wow.
Yeah, I did that in Indianapolis, and this was before SCG started paying the top 32.
Mm-hmm.
I took 29th. I finished higher than Owen Turnwald.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment. But, yeah, so, I mean, I liked Modern Masters 1 original draft. Modern Masters 2 felt really clunky to me. Like, they had archetypes, but, like, even if you built into them, they were never really that fun.
No.
Like, Affinity wasn't fun. Like, Spirits was
boring.
Spirits was boring as all get out.
There was, I think it was Green-Black Tokens was the deck.
It was either green-black or green-white, because I remember they downshifted that one terrible rare to common.
Scion of the Wilds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they downshifted that from rare.
Yeah, they shifted that down to common, which, I mean, is fine, because Crusader of Audric is a white version of that card.
Yep.
But, they downshifted that to common so they could make that the archetype. And, I mean, I saw some games where that card was really good.
Yeah, I did too. I watched people get 4 of them.
But generally, it was pretty bad. I think I would have rather just had a 3-mana 3/3 most of the time. But, yeah, so I'm glad to see that they're at least interested in bringing back draft leagues for popular formats. I mean, it would be really nice if somehow we could, special order old sets. Like, maybe every now and again they just print up a bunch of, Innistrad or Modern Masters 1, or just, something that was, known to be a really good draft format.
Yeah.
And then just sell it at a premium.
I mean...
Because, I would totally pay $20 to draft Innistrad again.
I probably would, too.
In paper.
Yeah.
Because that was such a fun draft format.
There was, down at States at Four Horsemen this past weekend.
Uh-huh.
They were actually offering a Innistrad draft that was being put on by TJ Collectibles out of Fairmont.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much did that cost?
TJ Collectibles.
Oh, it wasn't? I thought it was.
No, it was
something like that. It was some initials and collectibles.
Maybe it was his, maybe it was his slightly less impressive brother AJ Collectibles.
That could be it. Or maybe KD Collectibles. Or would that be one better? But going back to the archetypes in Modern Masters 2, I remember...
I can't even remember any of the other archetypes because that draft format was
it was so bad, but I remember
Wasn't white-black an archetype of some kind?
Probably.
White-black's always an archetype, just like blue-white flyers.
But my first draft I drafted just red-green aggro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I opened I opened decent stuff in pack 1, and I set my base up for red-green the whole way. And pack 2, I opened a Vendilion Click.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my god, I'm going to get blue-white flyers. This is going to be awesome. But
D and S.
D and S Collectibles. Okay, that's it. Yeah, because TJ Collectibles is the one that's the really big one that's doing Grand Prix now. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But I took that Vendilion Click, and then I was past really good red-green stuff still. And then pack 3, I opened a Chimera. I can't remember what it's called. Chimeric Mass.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, man, this thing's a bulk rare. And then, I'm looking through the pack, and I thought about it. I was like, this is a bomb and Scars Limited. What am I mad about? And I Windmill Slantis.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just throw your man into that.
Yeah. I 3-0'd that draft.
Yeah.
I got a free draft to draft again. I opened an Iona. And sitting across from me, a friend of the show, Dimitri Schrum, opens a foil Tarmogoyf.
Dear mother of words.
I ended up drafting 5-color that time because I got a horde of notions, and I had no mana fixing. I had okay elementals, and I met him in the finals. I had every single time he played something, I just drew lands, and then every spell I played just broke his back. Because it wiped his board, or killed his best creature, or it made him have no cards in hand, and I just drew all of my lands.
Did you get to kill his Tarmogoyf?
He didn't play it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I understand that, but, like, how cool would it have been to kill the foil Tarmogoyf?
Oh, man. That's an experience that you really only get to do, like, maybe 3 or 4 times, depending on how much Modern you play.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And, I don't...
But to do it in limited.
Yeah, I don't count it if it's, like, they're playing a playset of foil Tarmogoyfs and constructed.
Yeah.
But if it's, like, I have 4 Tarmogoyfs and only one of them is foil, then I'll count that.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah. I ended up drafting Modern Masters 2 8 times and didn't spend a dime.
Wow.
Yeah. My haul for that set was amazing. There was one draft where I ended up going black-green tokens. I first picked a Bob, and then I got past a Creekwood Liege, and a Leyline of Sanctity. And then like I opened my pack 2, and I had a Bitter Blossom, and like everything else I needed for that deck.
Yeah. See, you know what was funny? I'm not the hugest fan of Modern Masters 2, but I got I got the highest yield in a single pack from a Modern Masters 2 pack. So when Modern Masters 2 was getting ready to come out, I pre-ordered 2 boxes and I bought and paid for them. That was like my Christmas gift for like 2013 or whatever year it came out.
2014. Yeah, it's 2013. Yeah.
No, was it 2015?
Well, 2015 is the year of that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I bought it like last year or whatever.
Oh right. Yeah. I forgot which one we were talking about.
Yeah. So 2015, I bought 2 boxes of it. And I saved a box, which I ended up trading in and getting a box of Eternal Masters for instead.
And Devin just fist pumped.
Because I traded him, and then I opened a Mana Crypt in that box, so I didn't feel that bad about it.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
And in the other box, I opened a pack where the rare was a Cryptic Command.
Yep.
And the foil was a Bob.
Oh!
That was like $200 in value at the time in one pack.
Yep.
I was like, okay, this just paid for the box. And they're like, how? And I just like flip it over, and they're like, oh.
I remember
the best pack I ever saw opened out of it. Sorry.
It's okay.
This is really good, I promise. Guy opens an Emrakul, and his foil is also an Emrakul.
That's really sweet. I'm actually really happy that he didn't open that in draft.
Oh, man. That would have been the worst. I'm going to sneak in my Conspiracy 2 card that lets me take 2 cards out of the pack.
The one that got me was Dimitri's pack, because it was going to the right when he opened the foil Tarmogoyf. He looked at his pack, and he just like shuffled it around a little bit, and he goes, huh! And he puts the Tarmogoyf face up on the table. I'm like, well, that's pretty good. You son of a... You know? It just cussed at him a little bit. He started laughing. He passes me his pack, and it had a Cryptic Command in it, I think it was. No, it was Iona. It was an Iona in the pack. I was like, yeah, I'll take this Iona, whatever. Took the Iona and passed it to Pelican.
Yeah.
It was... That set was so horribly made, but there was just so much value that you could randomly get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an interesting set if you just wanted to crack packs.
Yeah. Like, Modern Masters 1, easily the best for expected value, because you really couldn't open a pack in that and not make some money out of it. Out of the uncommons and everything.
Yeah, because there were a lot of good value uncommons in the set, and then, like, your chances of getting good rares were way better because it was more heavily weighted toward the rares and less toward the mythics.
Yeah, exactly. Like, sort of Fire and Ice and Light and Shadow were in that.
Well,
and
they were mythics.
They were mythics. And they were actually some of the top tier mythics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, there were lots of good rares, too.
Yeah.
Like, I think, let me think, what all was rare in that set that was good? Blood Moon.
Blood Moon was a rare, yeah.
Oh.
I'm drawing blanks because it's late and I don't really remember. Oh, Pyromancer Swath is a bulk rare, but it was amazing in that limited format.
Oh, man. I remember getting that in a pack, like a random pack I bought after, like, the set started disappearing. And I'm just like, really?
I went to a TCG Player silver event that was at Steel City Con, and I got a prize. They gave me like $20 for top 8ing or whatever. So I got my playmat and $20, and I just went up to the counter, which it was from Mr. Nice Guys, and I gave them the $20 back for one pack of Modern Masters, and I cracked an extra page. I was like, yay, that's $6.
Got him. We did it.
We completely did it. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to another form of tournament practice, I guess. Devin, would you like to go ahead and talk about Standard Showdown?
Sure. Gotta find it.
Now, is this anything like the old Wizards product that's based off of baseball called MLB Showdown? Because that game was actually kind of fun.
Well,
I have no idea.
See, I thought you were going to reference MLB The Show.
That is the whole reason I started buying PlayStations.
For a baseball video game?
Yeah. Have you not noticed the baseball cap I wear every week?
Yeah, you wear a baseball cap for, like, what is probably one of the worst teams in the league.
Well,
and I mean, they're my team, too. I'm sorry, the Pittsburgh Pirates are not that good.
I mean, they're not great. Let's put it that way. Like, 3 years in a row, they were all right. All right? But after Barry Bonds decided to, in 1992, to not make that relay throw to the cutoff man to try to stop the runner at home, that's when the Pirates went downhill. Oh, and also, not to mention Bob Nutting. But that's another reason.
Well, but I mean, like...
Nutting.
You're
gonna have to bleep that one, I think.
Have to cut that one. But, and I mean, the whole thing with that is just, like, the Pirates are one of the worst teams in the league. And the thing is, like, I'm sure Chicago, like, blew up when the Cubs won. But if the Pittsburgh Pirates ever made it to the World Series, let alone won it, they would burn down half of Pittsburgh.
I don't think so, because we had it in '78, I think it was.
Did we?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Kent Tekulve won the game for him against the O's in the '70s, and that was Pirates have won quite a few World Series, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, obviously not the 28 that the Yankees have won.
Well, yeah, but
still, they have won quite a few. The Pirates actually have a very storied, successful history up until the last 23 years.
Yeah, it's so odd. Like, I've never seen the Pirates be good in my lifetime, but apparently, like, they used to be amazing.
Oh, they absolutely were. And do you know why they're called the Pirates?
Didn't they used to be called the Buccaneers? And that's why we call them the Bucks.
They used to steal players from other teams.
Seems reasonable.
But Buccaneer is just another name for a pirate. So that's why they're called the Bucks.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Modern Masters. I looked up the list of rares. Like, I forgot that Arcbound Ravager was a rare, and like all of the Pact cycle.
Yeah, that's only $50.
And like Academy Ruins and Glimmer Void, which is
when did Academy Ruins go up to like $20?
I don't know. Like whenever Affinity won something, I assume, because that's what it gets played in.
Actually, I would think it would be Lantern Control.
Or Lantern Control, or the fact that Lantern Control, like, exists now as a permanent Tier 2 deck, and the fact that that deck is popular and Affinity is super popular, and they both run it.
I really want to build Lantern Control.
I want to build it too, to be honest. It looks fun.
It is so much fun, Dakota, you don't know what you're missing. But the test about Lantern Control is that you really have to know how to play against every deck in the format.
Yeah.
If there is one deck that you don't know how to play against, you just lose. You just roll over and just kind of die to it. It can be a mess.
So, let's get back to the topic at hand. Did you find the information for our Standard Showdown?
Yes, I did. All right.
You just seem so ready.
Wizards has came up with this new program that was aimed to growing a store standard community, because usually it's the most proper format played at a store. It's going to go on for 4 weeks. The dates are November 26th, December 3rd, December 10th, and December 17th. Stores are going to be given 40 Showdown packs, booster packs. For the 4 weeks, they would like stores to give out 10 packs per week. It's just a normal standard tournament from the looks of it. It'll probably be whatever your LGS charges for standard tournaments. There's really nothing special about it. Besides it comes with the packs are 3-card packs.
Physical treasure chests.
Physical treasure chests. The cards that come in these packs are all standard legal, except there are no cards from Oath the Gatewatch or double face cards in these packs. You have a 1 in 33 chance of opening an invention or an expedition.
So that means there's one in every year. There should be, mathematically, there should be one invention or expedition in every, store allocation, you would think, just by sheer numbers. When we get around to it, I want to present an interesting alternate theory as to why they've decided to start this whole thing up for the standard season.
Actually, I think we might be able to do that now. Did you have anything else to add from the article?
Also,
yes.
All these packs are in English only.
English is officially the greatest language in the world.
Got him.
I believe. Back at the very bottom it says distributed cards will all be in English. Period.
Now, fun fact. Do you know what the easiest language to learn for English speakers is?
Italian?
No.
Chinese.
No.
Spanish.
No.
Latin?
French.
No.
Dutch.
Arabic?
No.
Latin.
Definitely not.
Japanese?
No.
Latin.
Swahili.
Pig Latin.
Klingon.
Pig Latin is correct. Klingon, not so much. But it's actually Swahili. Because it's a combination of 5 different languages. But most of them are based out of Latin.
Mm-hmm.
So you have English, which is the main language that Swahili comes from. And then it's combined with French, Spanish, and I want to say German. It's really awkward.
That's interesting.
Yes.
That sounds like it. I might have to culture study that when I get home, because I'm actually kind of interested in how that came about.
It was because the area of Africa that they speak it is a port area. Yeah. So they took in all kinds of trade and stuff from those different countries.
So it just it kind of creates a microcosm where that happens. Okay.
So it even has Italian, Grecian, and all that.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. What's up?
So back to the packs.
Yeah, go ahead.
The 3 cards. One is going to be a premium. I believe it's going to be a premium foil. It just says 1 premium card.
Yeah, that's foil.
Yeah,
and then 2 non-premium cards that are either a rare or a mythic rare from the current standard sets.
That's pretty cool.
And then that's when it says cards from Oath the Gatewatch and double face cards not included.
So why not Oath
for
specifically?
foils or non-foils?
Well, you said BFZ and Oath?
No, just Oath.
Yeah.
And double face cards are not included.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I'm I get why double face wouldn't be included because print runs or whatever. But why not Oath specifically? And that means that Battle is included, which is weird when if it'd be one thing if they got rid of both Battle and Oath, because it's okay, they don't want to distribute from the oldest block in Standard. But why Oath specifically? It doesn't make sense.
I'm trying to rack my brain, and the only thing I can come up with is the colorless mana symbol.
But that doesn't require any special printing limitations, would it?
Kind of does, because wastes aren't plentiful.
But consider this. There are waste symbols on cards and shadows and
That is correct. That is correct. But wastes are technically still not readily available. Even though there are lands that produce waste symbols.
According to what this says, if I'm reading it correct, it says the 1 premium card from a current legal standard set, including Kaladesh Inventions, or Zendikar expeditions, not including double-faced cards, but there's no asterisk. And then the second bullet point says 2 non-premium cards that are either a rare or a mythic rare from a set currently legal in standard, asterisk. Battle for Zendikar of the Gallaudet has many asterisks, says cards from Oath and double-faced cards not included. So I don't know if they're going to have foil Oath cards and that's it, or they're just out completely.
Well, that just makes even less sense.
The thing that I'm thinking is that maybe they outsourced Oath.
Maybe. And
they didn't get that print company didn't make enough Oath to meet something like this.
But,
or let's go with this little conspiracy theory. Maybe these are just the extra ones that they had for redemptions on Magic Online, and Oath sold out.
See, I also had a conspiracy theory about this. The fact is, not a lot of people are interested in Standard right now because it kind of just, homogenized, same way that Modern did. Ain't that a coinky dink? But, basically, because Standard is so boring, people aren't showing up to Standard events, and Wizards needs to sell Standard in order to make money.
Yep.
So, they're taking Draft Chafe, putting it into 3-card packs, and trying to get us to come back out for Standard.
Good old Draft Chaff.
Yeah.
Alright.
But, I mean, that's a theory that I've heard, and, I'm half inclined to believe them, because that sounds like a stunt they would pull.
You know what I'm going to do with those treasure chests? Keep them in a trade binder. I'm not even going to open them.
What do you think? What do you think they'd be valued at? $150 too?
No.
I don't know. It might be worth more than that because their ratio is higher than actual packs.
Yeah.
I mean, they have 2 rares, so
they have 2 rares and a foil.
2 rares and a foil,
which it could be 3 rares, or a masterpiece and 2 rares.
True.
Yeah.
So what? I really couldn't value them above a regular pack of cards.
I think they'll actually be worth more, especially 5 years down the line.
That's fair.
Yes.
With age, I'm talking right now though.
Yeah, right now they'll be $3.
Yeah, basically a booster pack.
Yeah.
I would say.
You know what these remind me of? Those stupid Yu-Gi-Oh packs that you get whenever you do the events or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The Astral packs or whatever they're called.
Yeah, they were Astro packs. Now they're tournament packs. Pretty much what they call them now.
They also remind me of the Pokemon League 2-card packs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things had more of the foil on the packs than it did to actually hold the cards. So every single one of those packs that you would rip the wrapper off of, the wrapper was worth more than the cards that were inside usually.
To be fair, that's how I feel when I open half my packs in Magic.
That's how I feel about when I open packs ever since they started doing expeditions and the inventions.
Yeah.
Bill's onto something.
But, I think it's interesting that they're choosing to do this. To me, it just strikes as,
Oh, I'm sorry.
It strikes you.
Oh, good old 90s taunting with the L on the forehead.
Smash Mouth?
I'm sad now.
Aww.
Strikes you as?
What?
Strikes you as what?
Strikes me. I don't know. You completely derailed my train of thought.
Poor Dakota, we triggered him.
You made me all sad now, except I'm not going to go on my blog and complain about it. 'Cause I'm a sensible human being.
I know, right? You know I appreciate you.
Hashtag Dakota for President 2036.
Hey, I'll be running with you. Except I'm going for War Chief.
Okay, well, here's what we'll do. I'll be the president, and then you can be the Secretary of Defense.
Goodbye, President, Vice President, Speaker of the House.
You said War Chief!
Yeah.
The Secretary of Defense is isn't he second or third in command or something of the Army? Is he?
Well, he's 6th in line to be president.
He's 6th in line to be president.
Yeah.
And I'm talking in terms of how the army breaks down.
Yeah.
The president's at the top as commander-in-chief.
I don't know.
But
I don't know that far.
I don't know.
I don't know
You can
either.
be vice president or whatever.
Cool.
Although,
Do you want in on this too?
Yes.
Okay, fine, but you can't be speaker because I already booked that spot for Roman Supreme.
Yes! I will be happy to work alongside him.
Well, the thing is, with him as speaker in the House, every time we have like a House convention, he's the one who's leading it.
Yep.
So that means we have a bunch of guys in business suits surrounding a guy in like a golden robe thing and a boot on his head.
And you know something? Out of every candidate that has been running for the last 20 years, as long as he's been campaigning, he is the only one to not falter on his issues that he's on.
True.
Yes, he has not changed his views whatsoever. He has always been for every resident of the United States gets a pony.
And go back in time and kill baby Hitler.
Yep. Like, here's the question, though. Oh my god, we're going to be so derailed on this.
Butterfly effect. Here we go.
If we kill baby Hitler, what kind of advances did we get from World War I and II?
A lot.
Yeah, that we won't have.
Here's the more pertinent question. If we kill baby Hitler, who is the villain in Kung Fury?
No, we gotta stop him.
Yep, we can't let baby Hitler
What
die.
What if it was just what if it was just Kung Fu like what if it was just Kung Fu George W. Bush or something?
Who would also be the real enemy of World War II if we still had one? Would it just be the Japanese still?
I mean, like, well,
The Japanese and the
we
Italians, I guess?
and it depends on what the Russians do there, because you remember they started as as part of Axis forces, but then they jumped ship when they're like, oh yeah, this is not going to end well for anybody, and they're just like, we're going to go with the winning team on this one. Okay, thanks.
Also, D-Day reminds me of a line that Zap Brannigan said on Futurama.
And that is?
He was talking about how he couldn't figure out how to beat the killbots until he saw one that reached its capacity of kills, and then it overheated and died. So he just threw all of these units and troops at the killbots until they all died because they killed every single one of those troops.
Wow.
Okay. Do you remember what you were going to say?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
I would have changed it then.
So
You're talking about Modern being a turn 4 format.
Yeah.
So Seth Manfield just put an article out 2 days ago on 3 days ago now, on November 2nd.
He's Platinum Pro.
Talking about, he says Modern is a turn 3 format now. He talks about...
That's a fairly accurate assessment.
That is actually very, very accurate.
It actually talks about, from looking at it quickly, is Affinity, Death Shadow aggro deck, Infect, and Dredge.
Yeah, Dredge is really good if they don't play Rest in Peace and you don't cheat.
And funny to mention, the deck he references is Ken Ketter from, he actually got the semifinals of that tournament.
Yep.
So are we talking
because
about...
that was Dimitri's quarterfinal opponent in regionals.
Yep.
So do we want to talk about the Kent Ketter thing?
I mean, is there really anything to talk about, really?
To be fair, I don't think we'd be adding anything that anybody else hasn't said.
He got fired from Card Hoarder.
He's a scumbag.
Woo! Wow, I think we just summarized the entire internet.
Boom.
Done.
We did it, Reddit.
Yeah.
We did it. All right.
So do we want to move on to... I think that was the last thing until we move on to the discussion point. So do we want to go there?
I mean, there was one other thing, but do we want to talk about our apparel?
I mean,
I'm really happy that you did this, Devin.
Yeah, so...
I'm very excited.
we've been doing some stuff on the back end. Devin's been working on getting the store whipping us up some T-shirts.
Instead of posting the second part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Thanks, Devin.
I'm working on it.
It's not like I spent 6 hours editing it. But, yeah, so we're working on getting T-shirts made. Right now we're doing a test batch to see, like, what the shirts cost in terms of getting both custom ones made as well as just generic ones. So, we're currently working out the kinks with that, and we'll let everybody know when we start getting them in for purchase. But, you can hit us up on Facebook to see how that's going along. We're looking... Actually, right now, we're also looking for someone to help us design a logo for the podcast. We've got the idea of what we want it to look like, but the problem is none of us are competent artists.
And also, I feel that it might be a little too out there.
Well, I mean, like, to be fair, we didn't dress it in a gorilla costume and with a baby doll in its hands.
And have bullet holes in it.
So, the fact that that's a thing means that I don't think our idea is too out there.
Like, I don't think I mentioned this at all, but I already told you guys what I thought the logo would be, and I'm just being sarcastic, but I think it'd be hilarious still just to see it. Like, the railroad spike with a Hawaiian shirt on, and possibly a bucket hat.
I mean, I like that idea. Not gonna lie.
Have our logo, store logo in there somewhere as well.
Yeah. That could be on the bucket hat.
What if it's...
Oh my god!
What
We did it!
What if it's a dragon spitting out of a flaming railroad spike with a Hawaiian shirt? And...
That's hotter than fire, baby.
Listen, if we're taking the crazy train, we're taking it to the last stop. I want the dragon to have Hawaiian print scales.
9 3/4. That's all I'm saying. But did we end up getting the American flag on the sleeve or no? No? Oh, I'm sad about that.
We can get.
I figured we would save that.
That'll be when we get jerseys.
Yeah,
We'll
get jerseys
better
with
shirts
that.
and we're working on now, and
we'll just get American flag capes. We don't even need it on the sleeve.
Oh,
man.
We'll just walk in and blast the Team America theme.
America!
I'm not gonna let him censor this one. I've already made him censor 2 episodes now.
No, I think there's been something... Well, I mean, like, I don't know how many you specifically, but I think I've had to bleep something out in every episode. So. I don't know. Check the logs.
I've done...
You should have them all.
All fairness, I've done amazingly well with the mouth that I have not recording.
I'm amazed I haven't sworn on camera yet, because I'm so used to it. I swear more often at work when I get paid to not swear than I do on here, where I don't get paid to do anything.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you about my work.
Well, okay, but you work in a warehouse.
I work in a warehouse.
In the middle of the night where nobody cares. That's different. I'm working in an office with old people trying to figure out how not to get the Trump supporters to put our heads on posts because they think we're rigging it.
You are?
No,
Aren't
we're
you?
not.
No? Are you sure?
I'm positive. We did not push the add 50 votes for Hillary button. Not even once.
Did you see the one where the guy was apparently ripping up Trump ballots or something?
Oh.
Holy crap.
The thing is, you know that was a hoax, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy posted on Twitter, I don't think he even works at the post office. He just posted a random Twitter saying, I love when I see Trump absentees sent in and I tear them up.
Yeah.
And like that, oh my.
Yeah, that's not good.
Such a fire under some people.
See, do you remember what happened in the 2000 election with Al Gore and
Didn't they
George Bush?
demand a recount in Florida or something?
Yeah, it was Miami-Dade County.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what actually happened?
I don't remember. I was like 5 years old.
A robot came in from the future and like just destroyed all of Al Gore's votes. Like all the ballots. Yes, that is another reference to Futurama.
I mean, honestly, like, wouldn't be surprised at this point.
I miss Futurama.
I think everybody misses Futurama.
Yep. Alright, so discussion time, yeah?
That's what I'm fixing for.
Alright, cool. So, since I'm the one that came up with this idea, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. Alright, so what we're looking at is, when is it good to just take a break? Take a small break. Like,
Never.
You really think so?
It's
Never.
Listen. Take some advice from Papa Frankie. It's time to stop.
Never.
It's time to stop, okay?
Alright, so the reason why that I made this the topic is because, all fairness, I have not been enjoying myself in competitive Magic at all. Like in the last probably 3 months.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'm noticing myself playing significantly less Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Not because, like, we're doing the podcast or anything. I think this is the greatest thing ever, honestly.
Yeah, I have fun.
Even in a break, I would still do the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the reason why I made this the topic is to basically announce that after the Open next weekend in Columbus, after I win, I'm taking a month off.
That seems fair.
Yes. And I still want to do the standard Showdown just to get some treasure chests. I'm going to trade for some treasure chests too. So if you want to come off of the treasure chests that you win, I will be happy to trade for them.
You'll have to keep looking, bud, because I'm keeping mine.
That's fine. I'm putting it on.
Yeah.
I'm putting it on the recording to let people know that I want the treasure chest. But anyway, like, the only formats that I've done that I've played since I've not really liked standard. There's nothing in standard that I like at all, and that disappoints me because that's usually all I play. If you think about it.
Yeah.
And it's just purely to get the practice in that I need to go make a tear at Pro Tour.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to the point where in these events where I'm not really enjoying myself, I'll make it to top 8 or finals, and then I just, like, something happens and I just lose. And it's usually, like, due to a flood, or, like, I don't draw any lands.
Or being forced to keep a bad mulligan.
Or being forced to keep bad mulligan. Or, like, I just get blown out by something that I had no control over. And, like, there haven't been many games. Like, I can't even think of any games where I have just walked into a trap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like it's obvious. It's usually pretty obvious what they're broadcasting to you.
Yeah, like, I don't walk into traps. I don't walk, like, people walk into my traps, but yeah, then I just draw dead the rest of the game and I lose. Like, at States, TCG player States this past weekend. Yeah. I won round 1 against, I guess you could say tournament acquaintance and I guess, like, friend? Kazu Negri? And, I beat him 2-1. Yeah. Yeah. And, the next round, I played against, it was the red-black aggro deck. And I was 2 points off of lethal. The 2 games I lost. Wow. And I'm playing red-white vehicles. Wow. Yeah, I'm 2 points off of lethal both games that I lose. And then I play against Naya humans. And I'm 1 point off of lethal both games I lose. Yeah. And there's nothing I can do. It's just there was nothing I could nickel or dime to get extra damage in. There was nothing. I just drew all of my lands, or I didn't draw any way to get out of it.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. And game day was also kind of relevant to that for me as well, because I played in 3 events that weekend. I had a top 8 appearance, in which I got mana screwed with 2 fumigates in hand and being stuck on 4 lands. Yep. Against 2 aggro decks. Well, against an aggro deck in the top 8. I was playing a 1 and in for top 4 against red-white vehicles, and I was stuck at 4 mana with 4 essence extraction, which I was able to cast 1 a turn, and I had 2 fumigates left in my hand again, and I lost that match, which basically cost me a Tarmogoyf, because I knew if I got in the top 4, I would just crush that and get a Tarmogoyf. And then I come here and I was given red white vehicles to play, and I met Dimitri in the finals. And funny story, he was playing black white control. I played black white control and lost to red white vehicles. I'm playing red white vehicles and I lose black white control in the finals because I got flooded. So the exact opposite problem happened within 5 hours of each other.
Yeah, but I mean, like, and those seem like relevant reasons. Like I said, I'm not currently impressed with the way Modern and Standard have been going right now. Like, I have a Modern deck I've in fact built.
Yeah.
And I built it back when it wasn't, like, ultra super popular.
Yeah.
And the same could also be said when, in Shadows over Innistrad, people were theorizing that Red-Black Vampires was going to be a deck, but it didn't pan out.
Yeah, it just didn't do anything.
I mean, and it's just like, looking at what we have, there's a lot of diversity in Standard, but the thing is that kind of, it's weird, because you have to, like, find the balance on diversity, because if too many decks are good, then your sideboard doesn't do anything.
I mean,
because you can't sideboard for 15 different decks. You just can't do it.
We kind of had that problem back in Lorwyn Time Spiral. But the overlap of the decks were actually so similar that in your 15 cards, you had 15 live cards usually in just about every matchup.
Yeah.
The only match that really gave you fits was the 5-color control matchup. Which 5-color control came with Alara, because then they got Cruel Ultimatum.
Yeah.
But, like, you had Doran. Well, you had Junk Aggro playing Doran.
Yeah.
You had Black Green Elves, which that deck was a house. That was probably the best deck in the format. Then we got Seismic Swans. Well, Seismic Swans came with the introduction of 10th edition. And, with Shadowmoor. And then it got way better when we got Alara Reborn. Yeah, and Standard was actually really crazy during that time because we had a turn 4 combo deck, with Alara Reborn coming in. We had ultra fast aggro decks. We had Green Black Rock. We had Junk. We had a burn deck. Like, we had what was effectively Modern in Standard.
It seems like it. And I mean, like, Time Spiral was one of the most influential blocks on Modern, I think.
Oh, it absolutely is. Because
like that
you have Future Sight and Planar Chaos. Like, there's only 2 cards that played out Planar Chaos, if you think about it. And it's Simian Spear Guide and Damnation.
Yeah, in Planar Chaos specifically. I was trying to think, like...
In Future Sight, we have Aven Mind Sensor, Tarmogoyf, and Narcomoeba, and Bridge for Blow.
We also have... Well, I mean, like, in Boggles, we also have Daybreak Coronet.
Yes. Which that was in Modern Masters 2. Yeah,
and that was a welcome reprint. They, I like how they had the new art for it. Because they planned for that card to be in Theros block, but they were like, this is way too good.
It was really good.
Because, I mean, it's only 2 mana, and you get Lifelink.
You get Lifelink, First Strike, Vigilance. And,
like, isn't it, like, +2/+2 or something?
3.
+3/+3, like, for 2 mana?
Yeah.
That's busted. And then you also consider the fact that Bestow protects the creature.
Yep. And... The gross part about it is...
Well, it doesn't protect the creature. It, basically gives you whatever it bestows whenever it dies or whatever. But, go on.
There was a deck in Standard for all about, like, maybe 2 weeks. It was a Zur the Enchanter deck. And they would play, like, Steel the Godhead, Daybreak Coronet, all these crazy enchantments. And they would play Zur on, like, turn 4... And then they would find a way to give it haste, and they would attack with him, and give him, like, Steal the Godhead, and then the next turn they would attack again, and go get their Daybreak Coronet.
Man, like, you know, one of the generals I never want to see across the table in a game of Commander is Zur. But, like, knowing that they had access to that kind of stuff in Standard,
Mm-hmm.
I would have hated that standard block with, like, an undying passion.
The ignorant part about him was that he could get Oblivion Ring.
Yeah, you get Oblivion.
Yeah. Oh, well, that card's a problem. I'm going to Oblivion Ring it. Oh, okay, that's fine. Thanks. But, like, to go back to what we were saying, well, what I was saying, in order to make myself, I guess, do better, I basically need a Zen break.
Yeah.
And I've generally done well at tournaments.
Yeah.
Like I have done well for quite a while, but I didn't really start capitalizing, I guess I could say, on these tournaments until I had to take what was effectively a 3-year break from competitive play because of working at GameStop.
Yeah.
And I had decided with, I think it was, I want to say Born of the Gods or Journey in the Nyx, that instead of just playing these goofy decks, like these decks I find online, and then modifying them to how I want them to be, instead of playing these goofy decks, I should find a deck that I really like online, and then get myself to be comfortable with it, and then I could mold it how I want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. That way I give myself the best advantage I possibly can.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was like I was playing a Bant Super Friends deck that I say is Super Friends, but TCG player says otherwise and calls it Bant Midrange. And this was with Journey into the Nyx. I had Elspeth Sun's Champion, a Johnny Ventura of Heroes, Sphinx's Revelation, and a whole bunch of other like crazy good cards all together. And I was just running tables everywhere with that deck. And then I had to take a small break, just a small one. And the first tournament I did when I came back per se was States after Khans of Tarkir came out. And I saw that there was a deck that finished winning TCG Player States the week before, and I want to say New Mexico. And it was a Boros Burn deck that played Deflecting Palm.
Yeah, you've told lots of stories about this deck.
Oh my god, that deck was so cool because the whole reason I wanted to play that deck was because of Deflecting Palm. I saw that on the spoiler, and I said, I need to play this card, and I don't care how much it costs. I need to get this card and just play the crap out of it. And when I found them for 60 cents a piece, I nerdgasmed. I'll be honest. I was like, we're doing this.
Seems fair.
Yeah. And I almost top 8'd that event. And it was my birthday, too.
I mean, normally I start taking a break around this time of year. Like, sometime after the fall set drops, between, like, the fall set dropping and the winter set coming in. Because normally what they have scheduled, except for this year, where they decided to get all crazy and print, like, 6 sets in 2 months, is, like, you have your fall set, and then you wait, like, 3 months before the winter set drops in January, February. So, like, normally, after I get my fill of the fall set, usually about a month after the set comes out, I just kind of drop off from Magic for a little bit. Like, I still play Commander, because I'm, like, a Commander fiend. Yeah. And I find that lets me blow off a lot of the steam I have from, like, getting blown out in drafts and stuff. Yeah. But, like, you know, I kind of shift my attentions to other things, like getting Christmas stuff done and, like, finances and, like, figuring out taxes and all that other junk. Which keeps me plenty busy. But I do feel that it's important to take breaks when you just kind of start getting burned out. Because you don't want to, like... Because the fear... You don't want to just, like, completely lose your passion and then just, like, sell off all your crap. Because I know multiple people who played Magic, like, 10 plus years ago, and then they got sick of it at one point, and they sold off all their stuff, and now they're back, and the stuff they sold is now worth, like, $1 bajillion.
Yep, $1,011,000. Yep. And, like... I'm not afraid of quitting Magic. Yeah. Because I've been playing the game going on 20 years now. I'm not afraid of ever leaving this game because it's not going to happen. It's kind of like that song, oh god, name escapes me because it's almost 1:30 in the morning, isn't it? I don't know what time it
It's
is.
like 10 till 1.
Okay, so it's almost 10. It's almost 1 o'clock. Name escapes me, but it's Tom Petty. There we go. First line of the song is something like, "I'm not afraid of you leaving because I don't think that's going to happen," or something like that. Like, I know that's not it. I'm just saying, like, that's the gist of it.
Mm-hmm.
And because Magic has been a part of my life for so long that I just can't think of it, like, not being in my life at all. So I need to. It's going to stay with me until the game's over. It makes no difference to me how much longer I play it. I just need to step away from it, you know? And the way that I've been trying to keep my mind off of competitive to try to keep myself sane, I guess, is I've been playing PlayStation games to get platinum trophies. You don't think that's a good thing, Devin? Ah.
See, I would think, like, because you like deck building a lot, don't you, Jaron?
Like deck building, I could. I have to build jank decks if I'm doing deck building.
See, if I were you, what I would do is just, like, hop on either, like, EDH Rec or, like, the MTG Salvation Commander forums and just start reading deck lists for different things.
Yeah.
Because Commander is the format where you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Oh, absolutely. And
whatever janky, ridiculous, dumb thing you want to do, like, it's possible. Yeah. Like, I remember there was one deck list I saw, and it was for, like, one of the Kamigawa, like, one of the 100 of the legendary creatures that were in that set. And it was literally, like, it didn't do anything, but what it was, like, the general's name started with a K. I don't even remember what the name was. It wasn't Konda, but it started with a K. And I don't think it was Kagemaru either. But basically what it was that every card in the deck list started with the letter K. Except for basic lands.
That's pretty funny.
And I'm just like, yep, that's a deck. Was it good? No.
Oh,
but
no. But that's part of the reason why I've actually liked playing Brago a lot more.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, is because that deck, the thing that I've loved about it the most in probably the last, 3 weeks or so, is that I realized that deck plays my opponent's decks better than it plays itself.
That's the thing, because the deck has so many different lines of play, especially when you have a 20-year history in Magic, so you know what a lot of cards do. So when you're interacting with your opponent's board and getting to, take advantage of their stuff by, blinking clones or whatever, you just get tons of different lines of play every game.
Yeah, I was playing against Tails, and he was playing Nekusar, and I ended up playing Nekusar because I cloned his Nekusar, and then later I cloned his Weisling. And I Reflector Maged his Nekusar and Weisling back to his hand.
Yeah. I remember you told this story last week.
Yeah.
But, I
haven't played much EDH since then.
Well, that's why I'm excited for next week when the Commander decks come out. Because you have, the thing is, I'm going to bust those open. I'm just going to start playing.
I have a buddy whose birthday is coming up, and I need to buy him one.
And who is that?
They don't know I'm buying him one.
Oh.
Because he does listen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'll ask you later. But what do you know what one you're gonna get him? If I can ask that much,
I do, but I can't say it on here because again, he is listening.
But he won't know if you're not. And whatever. But I mean, yeah, that's the one thing. I'll dip in real fast, to buy the Commander products, and then I just kind of dip back out.
Yeah.
Until the winter set comes out or whatever.
Well, what I'm going to do personally is I'm going to buy the singles that I want.
Well, yeah. The thing is, I looked at the price of singles, and there's so many singles I want out of this set. Yeah. I'm like, crap.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to buy the whole thing.
If it's getting to the point where it's, what are you selling the whole set for? 135?
125.
125. Yeah, if it gets to the point where the number of singles that I want out of the set is more than 125, I'll be like, here, Devin, take $125 from me.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying, because, I checked pre-order prices on TCG, which aren't really indicative of anything.
Yeah.
But do note that stores don't open as much of the Commander products as they do of, other sets.
Yeah.
Because they don't have as much, value to yield across. Which is why I had so much trouble last year getting Mystic Confluences.
Yeah.
Because nobody was opening decks. And, I couldn't find it at any of the stores around here, and I had to end up ordering them off TCG.
eBay.
Or eBay, yeah. Depends on where you go.
There's a seller that I generally buy, random Gen cards off of.
Mm-hmm.
And he always ships them right out as soon as the payment goes through. And I bought... Now, obviously, these are, bulk cards, but he had a playset of, Sacred Mazes with the new art on them for $1. No shipping. Just $1 for 4 cards. And I bought probably, no joke, probably, 180 cards off of him. Just because they were, random bulk cards that I needed out of Commander.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm planning on doing probably about the same thing. Yeah. Unless my list, like I said, is over $125, then I just call on Devin and make him buy me a case or whatever.
That's the thing. Because I decided to price it out on TCG, and the prices they had, the Hannah Ship's Navigator reprint with the Judge art is $12.
Yeah. See, that's worth it, because that you'll want a deck with it.
And then there's lots of $5 and $6 cards.
Yeah.
And it just, it added up real fast. And I'm like, well, I guess we're not doing that.
I'll wait about a month, and then I'll price the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did anybody have any shout-outs?
This time I don't really have any shout-outs, to be honest. I'm still working on my Commander Primer, if anybody was interested in that from last episode. But other than that...
I mean, I'm interested in that. That would probably be a good read. So, I'm excited about that.
But, other than that, yeah. Bears vs. Babies is still a thing.
Yeah, it is.
And now if you order the Not Safe for Work edition, it comes with extra cards and a condom.
Oh, that's hilarious. Now, did you know during, I believe it was the first Pro Tour, people that did not make it to day 2 were given, I want to say, a beverage and a condom.
What?
Yeah.
All right. All the contact information in the description.
I actually had a shout out.
Link to our website.
Come on, let him shout it out.
All right, so I want to shout out our friend of the show, Jeff Moore. He and I are doing a platinum run of Bloodborne on PS4.
Ooh.
Yes. Extremely not safe for work, because when I get attacked, I tend to drop F-bombs and, I just panic cuss.
Works for me.
Yes. All right. So contact information. My contact information is going to be on the back of my Casually Spiked Clutch Gaming t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't really have a nickname. All right, and I guess that'll close it out. The podcast is able to be reached at Casually Spike on Twitter. We also do have a Facebook page. And add me on Twitter. I'll be happy to direct you where you need to go, or answer questions, or make fun of people, or whatever you need me to do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to share and subscribe, and we are out.